back to Standing Waters Podcast. I'm your host today, Chip Miller, and I have Tiffany Heb with us. She is our office mitigation manager today.
Yes.
And we are going to talk about the process of taking claims and how your claims start with us. And Tiffany is the brainchild of all this.
I don't know that I'd go that far, Chip, but
Yes, you are.
Try to hold it together.
Yeah. So Tiffany, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I was born and raised down right outside of Deep Creek, Maryland, Route 42. That's where I've grown up. That's where my family grew up. So we're from the general area of the northern end of Garrett County. I found my husband. We got married, and he is originally from Thomas, West Virginia. So I'm now up on that end of West Virginia. We have a 3-year-old daughter. We like to do things outside, like to spend our free time that we get outside between work and busy life. So my husband, he works for Kingsford Manufacturing down in Parsons, West Virginia. So he works here locally as well. My father grew up here. He worked for the Garrett County Roads Department. So he's familiar with the entire county as well. So I know a lot of people from the northern end. I'm learning some more people from the southern end. But it's great to get to know people around here. Everybody's very nice around here, so it's always a plus side of things.
Yeah. No, it's a change whenever you come. Everybody always says northern, southern end or whatever, but
yeah, it's a big county.
It's a very big county. I got friends on both sides of it, and we're all the same, and so it's fun. So what's a change from moving from northern to West Virginia side?
Weather. The weather is a big change. So I know the roads department here in Maryland, they do a fantastic job. They keep up with the roads as best as possible. When you get to West Virginia, I think they do a great job as well. I think they use some different techniques, so it's just a little bit different. I've always joked and said some days in West Virginia, better to drive, I think, than Maryland, because you don't have the slush. You have a nice snowy road that you can just drive on, and you don't have to worry about all the slush.
Very true.
But it's a beautiful area up there. There's a lot of like wildlife, beautiful scenery. You have Blackwater Falls, Canaan Valley, Timberline Ski Resort, Canaan, all that stuff. So you can go snowboarding, skiing, all that stuff up there. So it's a nice area. People are nice still.
Mm-hmm.
It's, again, another small town. So you're not Garrett County, but still nice people, do anything for each other.
Right.
Kind of town.
And through the middle of town, they also have a lot of little shopping plazas because you got to go down to the left and you got to come back, or you got to go to the right and come back through.
Yeah, so when you go into Thomas, it actually splits. You don't have a 2-lane road. It splits and goes around some of the shops and buildings, so that's kind of nice. They have a really great 4th of July celebration up there. Fireworks are the best I've seen anywhere. A lot of people come down, the road gets shut off. Everybody shops, talks, there's bands, everybody hangs out. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Good time.
Yeah, it is nice area up there. So what did you do before you came to New Way Restoration and Cleaning?
So when I came to New Way, I had no experience in water, fire, mold, anything like that. I didn't even realize really that was a big thing. I think I was kind of in the dark about that. Like a lot of people are. You don't
I was too.
If something happens to you that you need our help,
right.
You don't realize it. And you don't realize how many people it happens to. I drove by it. We were service master then. I drove by the building every day on my way to work. Been driving from Thomas to Deep Creek, Lake Maryland for about 8.5 years now. So I've driven by. I actually waited tables at a restaurant at Deep Creek. So when I was waiting tables every Friday morning, the owners of Service Master would come in on Friday mornings and have their meetings. When they would come in, I was always the waitress on Friday mornings, so I waited on them. Again, had no idea what they did, or I just knew they were there eating. So one day, through the years as I got to know them better, I started talking to them, and I was kind of telling them some gripes I had about working in the restaurant industry and how when COVID hit, that was a big part of it. When COVID hit, the customers, I think, got not as friendly, not as...
Sure,
it was
more distant.
Yeah,
because
more
of
distance from
everything
you.
going on, yeah.
but also just demanding. I think everybody, was tired of not getting their way or being able to do things that they wanted to enjoy and do because they weren't allowed to go places weren't open. So I was just getting tired of it. I was pregnant with my daughter then, so that was another stress on me, waiting tables and 9 months pregnant and dealing with people that are not real nice. So I was telling them that I was looking to get out of the restaurant industry and was looking for something else, and that's when they started telling me what they did, and I realized that they were here in Oakland and the services they provided, and it sounded like something I would be interested in, something in the office.
Right.
I wouldn't be working weekends, have holidays off, which is completely opposite of waitressing. You're there every weekend, every holiday, making money. So that's the time to make it. So that's when I was there. So I started talking to them. I came in and interviewed with them. I met Jim McKenzie. I met Sean Smith, Bill German here. Talked, negotiated a little bit. I gave it some more thought. I was at the restaurant for 12 years. So it was a big step to...
Big change.
Step away. I'm not one for change. I don't like change. And I jumped in, you should say. I put in my 2 weeks notice. I started here. When I started here, I worked alongside with Sean. We did administrative things. She taught me QuickBooks and scheduling and carpets and everything office-based here in the office, payroll, things like that. So I got a good concept of all those things. And I was here for a few months whenever they decided to put me into the mitigation department. When I came into mitigation, I was like, I don't know about this. Part of that, Chip, you weren't here for that one, but that was the winter. So I started in May, and that winter is when we got that really cold spell. I think I was answering the phones and receiving the mitigation calls then, and I had a moment, and I sat there, and I was like, oh my God, do I want to do this? Because this is crazy.
That's how I feel right now.
This is busy.
Right.
The phones were ringing off the hook. Sean, our other office gentleman, Sean, and myself were just writing down lists. I'll add you to the list. It was just getting so crazy. Our teams were all out. We were working till 11 o'clock midnight every night.
Pulling in subcontractors everywhere you can.
We had subcontractors coming in from other places that were just laborers.
Yeah.
They were coming in. We took our guys, and they each led 3 laborers. So one of our guys would go to a 3-story water damage and take a bunch of guys. They point and say what needed done. We were putting X's on walls, and that's how we were getting that done. But we got over, I think it was a little over 80 houses.
Oh wow!
In 2 weeks that called in.
Yeah,
and I'm not talking like my bedroom carpet's wet. I'm talking it started on the top and it came down through all 3 stories.
Right. Yeah.
One of the big parts was that we had a lot of sprinklers.
And they all bust.
So I think a lot of the codes may not have been good enough for the cold weather up here. As you know, we're in Maryland, so we have Maryland codes. But Garrett County's not really Maryland. I would consider Garrett County more West Virginia weather.
Absolutely.
Than Maryland.
Yeah. I mean, look at it out today.
It just won't stop.
It just won't stop for like 4 days now, and we're getting calls on all that.
And it makes it difficult getting our vehicles into people's houses. People, if their driveways aren't plowed, if they're drifted 5 foot deep. My operations manager went out to a house yesterday. He had to park at the end of the driveway and walk 500
feet through about 4 foot of snow to get to somebody.
4 foot of snow. He had it up to his waist just to get to her front door to see if there was anything we could do to help them until they got the driveway plowed out. Right. When we go and we have to extract water, we extract with the truck mount units. So we have to get the truck to the house. Yeah,
and you got limited amount of hose to get that far. So.
Yeah, I mean, our guys are more than willing to help you out. They'll carry the equipment. They'll get up into you, but we got to get that truck up there. So it makes it difficult when it just keeps snowing.
It does. Wintertime is definitely hard on us. But so let's talk about everybody doesn't know what you do. I mean, you do a lot for us. I mean, everybody here can see that. Every one of our managers are top notch, and they have their own special niches on everything here. But for the people listening, let's start off by I call in, I got a water damage. First person they get to is you. Yeah, and I know some days you come to me and you're like, I'm ready to pull my hair out. But we are here to help.
We are, and that's what I always tell people. Sorry that we're meeting this way. I know I'm not the one you wanted to call, but we're here to help you. We'll get there. We'll get started. We're going to get you on our system. I'm going to enter you in, and I'm going to get all your information from your name and your email address, phone number, address. I need a little bit of a description on what happened. So I'm going to be asking things such as, what level did it start on? Did it start in the basement? Did it start above the basement? What all do you got going on? So that our guys know the amount of equipment and what all tools they need to bring with them. We don't want to get out there and realize, oh, we needed more equipment. So I try to size it up a little bit and see how many dehumidifiers we'll need, how many air movers. Are we going to need to extract?
Right.
Do you have standing water 4 foot tall? Do you only have a little bit of wet carpet? What do we got going on?
Right.
Did it come through the ceilings?
Exactly.
Kind of thing. I just need a general idea on that so that we can get the guys headed to you.
Right, because it's so much easier to get all that information first. And like you said, you know, for the dehus and for the fans and everything, because we don't want them going there blind and not having nothing and then having to run back. So we always have everything stocked and ready. And
especially when we take emergencies after hours, so it's not always Monday to Friday, 7 to 3. If we get a call in the evening, we're going to be sending 2 guys, maybe more if we know it's a larger loss, but 2 guys out to you, and it's the weekend, it's the evening, and they don't want to be running out there blind, getting there, and then having to come back to the shop to get more supplies. The roads sometimes aren't great. We like to just be prepared and get everything out to you so we can get it started and get things fixed up for you as soon as possible.
So once that customer calls in, you take all that. What about the insurance?
So insurance can be a whole nother game. 9 times out of 10, I'll say if it's a clean water loss, you had a busted pipe, something like that, usually it's pretty straightforward. The insurance company is going to agree when you file your claim. That's something that you all would do as homeowners. I don't call your insurance company to file the claim. I'll ask for who your insurance company is. That way we know what estimating software to use. So we have 2 different estimating softwares, Xactimate and Symbility. Certain insurance carriers require one or the other. So that's an important question for me to ask you when you first call in. And then you're going to file the claim with your insurance company, and then you're going to get me the claim number. Your insurance carrier is going to give you a claim number to reference, and sometimes they'll get you an adjuster contact information, but sometimes they just don't know yet. Sometimes they have to see where it lands in their pool to see what adjuster is going to receive that. So once you have all that information, I get in contact with the insurance company or the adjuster, and I will send them kind of a scope of work. It's going to be a detailed scope. Hey, we got here, we know that it started on the main level, came down through the ceilings into the lower level. They have vinyl plank flooring, carpet. There's some contents affected, but not a whole lot. Just kind of give them a general scope of what they're expecting to get. Right. I know a lot of insurance companies, if it's a large level loss, sometimes with the HOAs, sometimes if it's a 3-story, it goes up a tier at the insurance company. So it goes from just a desk adjuster to a large loss adjuster. So at that point, that's when that contact would switch. So if I start sending information to the desk adjuster and we're talking and everything, and then they realize, oh, it's a 3-story loss, they're going to send it to somebody else, and I'm basically starting
all over again
with them. Yeah. So then I'm repeating myself and sending stuff to somebody else. So once they get that, they have a general idea. A lot of insurance companies want to send either an independent adjuster or that desk adjuster out to your house to take a look at it for themselves. Most of them will say, go ahead and let New Way get started. We don't want secondary damage to the home, which is when you let a house sit wet for an extended amount of time. That moisture that might just be in your carpet is now going to create moisture on your drywall ceilings, on your walls, your windows, your furniture. Say if your furniture's sitting in there wet and you don't get dehumidification in there, it could promote the microbial growth. So then you're going to have even bigger costs occurred. A lot of insurance companies don't like to pay for microbial growth. A lot of policies don't have that in it, which shock people that they don't have it.
Yeah.
But insurance companies look at that as you didn't do anything to prevent it.
Right.
So if you had a leak or you had something going on that now has created microbial growth or rotted subfloor, things like that, they just want to step back from it.
Sure.
They don't want nothing to do with that because you should have done something with it to begin with in their eyes.
Exactly.
That's how the world works. It all depends on your policies. One of the big things I stress to customers is check your policy. Read over your policy. People have second homes, and sometimes it requires you to shut the water off if you don't have renters there after 2 days. It's all in the verbiage of the policy.
Exactly.
So when something happens, they can or cannot deny you.
Yeah,
So
if Bill
cover
was
yourself by knowing.
right. And that's one of Bill's things. If he was sitting here, by the way, Bill, we miss you today because this is the first podcast you've never been on since we started all these.
Stuck me with Chip today. Thank you, Bill.
But Bill is like the guru over the insurance policies, reading everything and making sure it's right, and all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. But yeah,
it's kind of a funny story, Chip. When I started here, like I said, I didn't know about all of this stuff. So when I started here and I started seeing some of these damages, and people had septic backup in their basements and water come into their foundations, and even trauma cleanup stuff that I saw, and I'm like, we have an insurance policy in my house. Wonder what it covers. So I ended up calling over to my insurance agency here in Oakland, and I said, just be prepared. I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. Some might be off the wall. Just asking questions. I promise I'm not going to burn my house down tonight. Which that's the vibe I got from the lady whenever I was asking.
Oh yeah, when you start asking details, they're like, what's she going to end up doing?
Yeah, so I started with like the water, and I know I have a basement that's underground. Cover water through the foundation. Well, that's something you can't cover. Well, through that insurance company specifically. I said, what if septic backs up in my floor drain in the basement? Well, you can add that, but you don't have that coverage right now. Guess what I did? I added that. I've never had that issue, but I see it firsthand.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with a septic loss that I'm paying for out of pocket.
Sure.
I don't want to get denied. I don't want to have to replace all my contents that are covered in it. Because you can't clean that. That's Cat 3 water. Nobody wants to clean it.
Exactly.
Drywall absorbs it. Can't get it out.
So it's got to be cut out and thrown away.
So then I went on to fire, and there's some kind of clause in there that if your house, say, was built in 1970, you can have fire damage coverage, but sometimes they will only pay you for what the materials would cost to rebuild it in 1970.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
That's a new one.
See?
Yeah, so there's always ways, and I think it's a game of Chip Miller calls around to State Farm, to Erie, to Travelers, to these companies, and he's looking for the lowest rate.
Right.
So these companies will get you by being the lowest, but you're not looking into what you have covered.
But not offering what you want.
Yeah. So you're not comparing apples to apples,
right?
Basically. Yeah. So it's always good to ask about those type of things. Should have heard her voice whenever I asked her about trauma.
Watch out, JD.
I said, so what happens if somebody does something in my house that's trauma related? And they told me that if Chip Miller would come to my house and have an accident, it would be covered to clean that up.
Really?
But if JD, my husband, or myself would have an accident, it wouldn't be covered. Because you are causing loss to your own property. Something to think about.
Folks, look into it.
Look into your policies. It can get down to the nitty gritty, but look into your policies. I've seen plenty of people who have had septic backed up an inch deep in their basement and they don't have coverage.
No.
It's a stinker.
It is. It does, and it stinks that it's that way.
Yes.
But So after they make the initial call, they talk to you. You go through the insurance company, and then we send the people out. We start mitigating and everything else, and then you sit and do estimates now also along with Jim. And Tamika is also doing some of them now, but the estimate process is pretty nerve-wracking sometimes, isn't it?
It can be. It can be. They always say things run downhill, and if you're not getting the documentation that you need out in the field, if the homeowners aren't allowing access into certain areas, or however, it can be rough.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I work alongside with our technicians. I'm in constant communication with them. They go out there, they're getting me a floor plan of the house, kind of a diagram, sketch of the house, so that I can get started on that estimate. I'm going to sketch it out. Xactimate, Symbility, they're similar things, they just do it differently. But Xactimate is great. You can do 3D sketches of the house. You can build it, levels on top of levels, put your doors, windows, all that in. It calculates it out for you, things like that. Add your different flooring. So that's the first step. You're going to sketch it out. And by then, the guys should have you a pretty good scope. Like I was talking about, getting the scope to the insurance companies to give them a heads up. That's what I'm basing this preliminary estimate off of, is what they're seeing, what they're using their moisture meters for. We have thermal cameras that look into the wall, so you can see wet insulation, things like that. So they're giving me that. They're giving me measurements on how much baseboard, trim, flooring, what kind. They're taking photos. They're doing it all. They're getting me everything I need to put in the numbers on that estimate so that we can get something close.
Right.
You're never going to have an exact on a preliminary.
No. So like whenever they go out, they take pictures of everything before we even touch it.
Yes.
And then once we start doing the mitigation work, they take pictures every day of the progress they got, just so this homeowner doesn't have to worry about the insurance company. We can send everything to them. So we're sort of like cradling the homeowner a little bit. You know, basically, you got enough going on.
At this point, we got this.
Right.
If you go sit in your not affected living room, drink your coffee, hang out. I've had many homeowners call in to us and ask, oh my gosh, the insurance company wants photos of this and this and this. We got it.
We got it. Yeah.
We got it. Our guys and our technicians are very skilled at what they do. We take pictures beforehand so the insurance company can see what the house looked like and what materials were in it before we started. If it's a 3-level loss, we usually Matterport it.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people
Matterport's
aren't familiar with Matterport, but it's pretty great. You're going to take this camera around and it 3D scans different spots in the house so that when you pull it up, you can walk through the house and you can see everything. You can see the water laying on the floor. You can see every aspect. That you can see the ceiling falling in. We had a house back 2 years ago when we had that big freeze. It was a large house. And it busted in the kitchen upstairs and went downstairs. And when we got there, by the time we got to call, all the ceilings and insulation were hanging down. We Matterported it, and it was like you were there.
Exactly. I remember looking at that one, and we've done a couple Matterports, and actually I didn't know how to run it. Tiffany had to show me how to run it.
Along with a lot of other things.
A lot of other things. Which I'm glad she's sitting beside me, because normally she's like behind me, because a lot of you know my story. I've been on a computer for like 50 years, and she'll smack me upside the head to get me to learn how to use it. So, but no, the Matterport is a huge thing in what we do also, because the insurance companies want every little detail, and sometimes it's how we get paid.
It is.
You know, the insurance company's like, I'm not going to pay you until I see this, and I've rebuilt homes, and they're like, we want to see everything before we give you your final payment. And I've had a couple places, a couple customers we've sent everything to, because they're not coming up for months. You know, we don't want to wait on our money for months. So we send it to them, and they're like, this is perfect. Checks in the mail, here it comes.
That's a huge aspect of what we do. A lot of people aren't up here. It's not their primary home. So when we're looking at getting paid or getting approval to do things, they want to see it. Mm-hmm. They want to see what it looks like. In this Matterport, you can see the dust in the corner if you leave it.
Right.
It is that great. So people trust more, I think.
Sure. Oh,
they
exactly.
want to see it.
Yeah.
It's their house, and they could be paying big money.
Yeah.
What do they want to pay for
right.
it?
And the 3D view is so much better than just a picture every now and then. I mean, we can't do 3Ds on every place, like the small ones or whatever, but like the big, huge ones. And yeah, it's definitely a game changer in getting money, getting stuff insurance, letting that customer see what they're getting back in return and everything, and it's like I said earlier, you're cradling that customer because they have enough to worry about right now.
Yes, they do.
If we can take 95% of what's going on in their place and only have to let them worry about 5%, I'm cool with it. I'm good with it, because they have too much going on right now.
It helps the insurance companies. A lot of insurance companies that adjusters are not local. They're Hagerstown, or Pittsburgh. So a lot of times Matterport, if we send it to them, that's what they want. That's what they're getting out of it, and we don't have to wait for them to come down and look at things. We can go ahead and start demo and start drying, and you don't have to wait on their approval to come down a week later to look at it.
Yeah, because like you said earlier, the sooner you start it, the better off it is, because then it doesn't start damaging even more. You let something wet sit a week, you're going to be into a lot more money than what you was on the first day.
Yeah, that large loss I was talking about, that the ceilings were falling down. When we walked in upstairs, they had large windows from ceiling to floor, and they were raining.
Wow.
Water never touched them. Water came out of the kitchen cabinet onto the floor.
Mm-hmm.
These ceilings across the house were raining.
Wow.
From the condensation in that house.
Yeah, so as soon as you can get a hold of it, it's so much better. So then they call you go through the insurance with them, you can send them photos, you can send them Matterport, whatever they want. And then even the billing, we got a system with the Encircle and everything that you can send everything straight over. They can DocuSign, they can do everything. And
yeah, so we use a CRM program called Encircle. It's for our technicians in the field more so. We have other programs we use here in the office for our financial and things like that. But the Encircle is great for the guys and the technicians because I put it in there as a job. They get there, they just start adding their rooms. They put in like the source of the loss. That's important to insurance companies also. Your photos, the beginning photos in every room. Then they go through the content photos of what contents were affected. And we have a great content tool in Encircle as well that will just make an Excel spreadsheet with pictures and what happened to it and why it's damaged so that the insurance company pays you back for those items. Yeah. Water ran through your TV. You're going to want that replaced.
Exactly.
Whether it works or not. So it makes it simple. It makes it easy. That takes it out of the customer's hands. They don't have to come up with this huge list to send into the insurance company and be like, oh my God, this is awful.
Right, or did I forget something? Did I do something here and everything else? You know?
And when I first started here, we were just doing it by hand. We were doing it in an Excel spreadsheet. I would pull photos that the technicians took. I would label them, put the model numbers, the serial numbers. It was a process. Yeah. We had one house, I think the gentleman had a lot of contents, but he had about 160 vinyl records.
Wow.
That had gotten wet and then molded by the time they realized the water damage was there. So we had to take a picture of each individual vinyl record, and I had to put it into Excel with a picture for each individual one. That content list took me a long time.
I bet. Yeah.
But Encircle's great. So then as we are progressing through the job, when the guys take off the baseboard, they're going to take a picture of it. When they take down the drywall, whether they flood cut it or they take the whole ceiling down. Insulation, when they take doors off, door jambs, showers, vanities, toilets, any of that stuff, they take a picture of it. Because in the eyes of the insurance company, whenever we send them documentation, if we don't have a picture of the toilet as it was installed and a picture of the toilet sitting in the family room detached, they won't pay us for that.
Right.
They say, well, how do we know that the toilet was even hooked up?
Yeah.
Or the drywall, or the baseboard, or anything. How do we know that door was on its hinges?
Yeah.
So we have to be very detailed in what we do out there.
Which is where Matterport helps.
It does. Matterport solves a lot of problems. But it's just the guys being thorough. When they get to the end, they take final photos or final Matterport. They're going to take 4-corner pictures of the entire room, covering everything that was done or wasn't done. So that's how we get paid.
Sure, exactly. And I mean, that's how anybody has to do it in order to get paid. You know, that's even on the rebuild side of it or whatever. We have to go back through after you guys are done and take pictures and show them exactly what we did. And the Matterport, the in-circle pictures, I just talked to one of the subcontractors today, and he's like, hey, where does this heater go? And it took me literally 5 minutes to pull it up and take a picture of it and send to him, so this is exactly where it goes. And it's so nice to have that, because when you're working on a home and people lose everything and then you go to put it back together, they're like, where was this at?
Well, a lot of times customers want it put back the same.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they're not changing anything. They're not going to remodel during this. They just want whatever the insurance company's paying to put it back to where it was to begin with.
Right. So we're going through and we're like, okay, this went here, this went here. And we put your stuff back, folks. I mean, you don't have to come in and do it. What we tear out, we put back. You know, we try to save the heartache of what you guys are going through and put it on us, so then whenever you come back in, you're happy.
You're back to
everybody's
normal.
Happy. Yes, you're back to normal. Yeah. Now that's a better way to say
Maybe
it.
Maybe even better off.
Yeah.
But
yeah, exactly. But any tidbits, any advice before we get off here about what people should do?
Check your policy.
That's policy.
Keep your heat up.
Yep.
Don't turn your heat off during the winter. Keep that at a normal temperature for you, especially if you're not around. Keep it.
Yeah, because we get a lot of those when they're not around, and some people don't come back in.
That's when we find the microbial growth. Because the house sat wet for a month.
Right.
Because somebody was supposed to check on it and didn't.
Yeah.
And it happens.
Well, we got a call. We can't say who, but we got a couple weeks ago. A house was running for at least 5 days of water because no one checked it.
Some of the lines that break are big lines. Some can do a lot of damage.
It's what keeps us in business, but I hate it. You know, because I'm like, is that my home? I would literally hate it, but
it gets resolved.
It happens. It happens. Yeah, as long as you got good insurance and check your policy.
Yeah. We've showed up to houses that had icicles coming down the side of the house.
Yeah.
Because so much water flowed through the house that it was finding cracks and ways out. Yeah. Water will flow to the easiest point.
Yep.
So if it runs out of room to go, it's going outside.
Exactly.
Yeah. It'll eventually come out, but it's going to soak everything in it first.
Yeah. But yeah, folks, check your policies, check your heat, make sure you're keeping up on everything. If you need us, we're always here. I mean, Tiffany came from being a waitress for how many years? 12 years, and she's been here 3 years now.
Almost three.
Almost 3 years, and listen to the knowledge she has. I mean, it's amazing.
There's just a lot. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of checking and touching base with the customers and touching base with the insurance companies all day long. I am talking to the customers, talking to the insurance companies. Weekends, I'm getting emails, phone calls, and we take them because we care.
Yeah. If you play this back and you listen when she first started, it's like, I don't have to work weekends. She works every weekend. I'll just tell you guys that right now. I've been yelling at her.
But I work from home.
You need to slow down. You need to quit. But that is our service.
Working at home.
Yes, but that is our service. We're open 24/7. Emergencies come in. It doesn't matter. We would dispatch people as long as there's not 5 foot of snow in your driveway where we can't get in. But yes, that is our service of the 24/7, 365 days a year. We will take care of you and we will get to your house.
And we stand by it.
Yeah, sure. Take a look at our website. What is it?
.com. You get on there, we offer a lot of services. Take a look at them. We're not just water, fire, mold. We do house cleaning. We do commercial office cleaning, housekeeping type of things. We clean carpet and upholstery. One of our big pushes right now is we just got into HVAC duct cleaning.
Yep.
We'll clean your furnace. We'll replace your filter. Clean all of your ductwork through the house. I know right now everybody's heat's fired up, everybody's blowing everything around. So if you want to get those clean so that you have less dust in the house, you have less allergies.
Yeah.
Because you think you're cleaning your carpet, which holds a lot of allergens and things. Clean your ductwork. That's what's blowing the air through your house. That's Chip and Bill were talking about on the last podcast. Fire damage. Fire happens, the soot is in the air, and HVAC ducts are blowing it around to every room. You might have had a fire contained to one room in the basement, but if it was near that furnace, you now have soot in every room of your house, on every stuffed animal, every window seal.
Exactly.
Everything.
Yeah.
So give us a call if you need any of those services. We are out of the office, just leave us a voicemail. We have people on call like myself that answer those voicemails. We'll call you back, get you set up for an appointment, get it handled for you.
Yeah, she just set me up yesterday and I screwed it up already, so we'll work through it. We all knew that would happen, so luckily we're here to help you again. Yeah, I think I need their services more than you guys do right now.
I'm a little busy, Chip. You might have to be on the back burner.
I know. But no, I appreciate all of you watching, listening, taking our tidbits in and out of everything that we have to say. I don't know how many likes we're up to, but I think me and Bill the last time was like 9 likes. But hey, our family members, they love us.
This time.
Exactly.
Maybe I'll beat you guys.
Yeah, our family loves us. So
I think before we hop off, I think it's important to talk about the self-pay. So we talked about insurance.
Exactly. Yeah.
We talked about insurance a lot.
Good point.
And I even mentioned how insurance doesn't cover mold sometimes or sewage or things. So we don't just do insurance work. We do a lot of work for people who were either denied or didn't have the coverage for it. And when we get into those, we usually have Jim McKenzie. He comes out, he's going to assess it, he's going to use his moisture meter, he's going to basically sniff it out and see what's going on. We are set up to help you. We will have you just basically sign a contract with us.
Right.
When you sign the contract, you're saying that you agree to our quote that we've provided on our recommendations of what needs done. We do a 3-payment process, so you'll pay us before we start, pay us during, and then pay us at the final payment as long as you're satisfied with everything.
Yep.
We always go above and beyond to make sure you're satisfied with the work that we provided. If you call us and say, well, I think this was left, or I have a worry about this, we're always going to come back. We're going to make it right. We're going to make sure everything is done correctly. But we're going to work with you. Sure. We understand the game, and we understand that there's a lot of people that don't have coverage for things. So don't be afraid to call us just because you don't have insurance for it or you got denied insurance. Give us a call. We'll work with you. We'll get this taken care of for you and make sure that you're restored back to a normal state as well.
Yeah, no, that's a good point because I didn't even think about the self-pay. But yeah, we're here for you no matter what your cause is. Just give us a call, give us a shout, look at our website. Phone numbers are all over there, everything that we do. We're a Mohawk dealer now. So we can get anything that you need in your house, whatever. We clean the area rugs. We got the pit in the back. So yeah, whatever you guys need, we are here. But thank you for sitting in with me today, explaining all this, and hopefully it'll cradle and give a little bit of self-assurance to anybody who's watching and needs our help. I truly appreciate all the managers. I do miss Bill today because, like I said, this is the first time he's ever missed a podcast, and he'll be watching us sitting back laughing at us now. And
he'll be picking me apart.
Exactly. He'll be doing his little picks every now and then, but it's fine. That's how we get where we're at because Bill always tells me that I'm his work in progress.
At the end of the day, we all love each other. We love working with each other.
We have fun.
If you take one of us out, it's going to be a problem.
Oh, yeah.
We all do a lot here. We each do our piece. Like you guys said in the last podcast, we connect.
Yeah.
From mitigation starts with us. Sean's going to send housekeepers and carpet cleaners in to clean up the stuff after damages. And Chip's going to rebuild it. Carrie, she's going to sell them some flooring.
Yep.
It all goes hand in hand, and we all help each other through it.
And Jim's a huge piece because he goes out and he's also investigates and look at everything, and Carney's learning now, and so yeah, it's all one big puzzle being put together. And when you take that one piece out or something gets messed up, yeah, it gets a little crazy. But
Jim's a huge piece for me. When I started working along with Jim. I didn't know anything, and Jim's taught me everything that I know. Well, there's still a lot for Jim to teach me, but everything I know came from Jim. I'm IICRC certified in water, fire, odor, and structural drying. Went to Nashville for those, like you guys mentioned. But there's only so much you can learn in a class, in a 3-day class.
It's all hands-on.
It's all hands-on. It's working here, and when I run into something I'm not sure about, I can go ask somebody else that knows. It's all about having everybody here and everybody pushing each other along.
Yeah, it's funny because Tiffany will come get me sometimes. She's like, what's this piece of wood called, or what's this called, or something.
I'm not a rebuild person. I don't know anything about that.
Right,
That's
but,
just not
but it's in your estimate to put it back. So it's nice to have the knowledge of everything that's here, of everybody's knowledge to put back to help these people out whenever we need them.
Yeah, because everybody's looking for answers.
Sure.
They want to know, and they want to learn along with you.
Exactly, yeah.
They want to understand your tools that you're using and understand what we're doing, and I personally love that.
Yeah, I do too, yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, and you're learning, because then if it's not in your policy, you'll find out.
It could get ugly.
But, all right, so thank you again for being here.
Thank you for having me, Chip.
Putting your knowledge out here to everybody. And I can't remember how Bill ends these, but...
Thanks for coming and seeing us.
Yep, see you next time on Standing Waters Podcast. Thanks. Bye.